I'm Liam.
I'm Chloe. Welcome to Daily Cup English.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Daily Cup English, the podcast where we talk about real English for real life. I'm Liam.
And I'm Chloe. Oh, it's so good to be back. I feel like we were just here yesterday. Because we were.
Every single day. That's the promise. And honestly, I love it. I wake up and I'm like, okay, what are we talking about today? What's going to help people? It's the best way to start a morning.
Same. Okay, but real talk. How are you, Liam? Because you look slightly more awake than usual today.
I'm going to take that as a compliment. I actually slept really well. No neighbor music this time. Completely silent night. It was beautiful.
Amazing! Progress! I had the opposite. My cat knocked my phone off the nightstand at 3 a.m. and it started playing music, and I literally jumped out of bed like someone was calling me. My heart was pounding.
Your cat is chaotic. But wait, that is actually such a perfect transition into today's topic. Because that feeling of your heart pounding when your phone goes off unexpectedly?
Oh no, are we already there?
We are already there. But first, if you are new to Daily Cup English, hello and welcome. We are so happy you're here. We post a brand new episode every single day, and every episode is about real English. Conversations, situations, phrases you can use right now.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that right now. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and it means you get a fresh episode every morning. We like to think of it as your English coffee. A little cup every day keeps the language flowing.
I love that. Okay, and a huge thank you to everyone who's been leaving comments on episodes 1 and 2. We read every single one, and they seriously make our day.
So in episode 2, we talked about how to say no politely in English. And oh my goodness, the response was incredible. So many of you said you've been struggling with this forever.
Right. And someone left a comment that said, I finally told my coworker I couldn't help him this weekend and used the phrase from your podcast, and it worked perfectly. That made me so happy.
That is literally why we do this. Okay, so today, episode 3, we are going straight into one of the most requested topics, and honestly, one of the most universally terrifying things for English learners.
Phone calls in English.
Phone calls in English. Dun, dun, dun.
It's a horror story for so many people, and we're going to fix that today.
So let's start with a question. Have you ever, and I'm asking everyone listening too, have you ever looked at your phone, seen that it's ringing with an unknown number, and just let it ring?
Every day of my life. Even in English, and English is my first language.
Right. So phone anxiety is real, even for native speakers. But for people learning English, there's this extra layer of pressure. Because on a phone call, you can't see the other person's face. You can't use gestures. You can't slow down and ask them to repeat using body language. It's just words and sound and silence and your heart pounding.
And somehow the connection is always a little bad, exactly when you need it most.
Always. Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Sorry, I think you broke up. And then you're apologizing so much that you forget what the conversation was even about.
That is painfully accurate. But today, we're going to break it down. Why phone calls feel harder, what situations come up most often, and most importantly, what you actually say. Real phrases, real conversations. Okay, personal story time. Because I think this makes it real. Chloe, you go first. Tell me your most memorable bad phone call story.
Oh, okay. So this was a few years ago. I was at my job at the time, and my manager asked me to call a client, a big client, to confirm a meeting. Simple, right? I had the number, I had the date, I had the time. Easy.
Famous last words.
So I call. The phone rings. Someone answers and says something super fast. I think they said the company name, but it was so quick, I barely caught it. And I panicked. I just said, "Hi, is this the office?" The most useless sentence in history.
Is this the office? That could be any office.
The person on the other end was so confused. They were like, "Yes? Can I help you?" And I was so flustered that I forgot the client's name. I actually forgot the name of the person I was calling for. I had to put them on hold, find my notes, come back. Oh, it was a disaster. 10 minutes for what should have been a 30-second call.
I love that story so much. Mine is... Okay, this is embarrassing. I was studying abroad in the UK, and I called a restaurant to make a reservation, and the person who answered had a very strong regional accent. A beautiful accent, but fast, very fast. And they asked me how many people, and I said 4. And then they asked something else, and I thought they were asking for a time, so I said 7 o'clock. But they were actually asking for my name.
So you told them your name was 7 o'clock?
I told them my name was 7 o'clock, and they just wrote it down. They didn't correct me. So we showed up, and they had a table reserved for 7 o'clock. Party of 4.
That is the most British thing I've ever heard. They just accepted it.
So, yes, phone calls can go very wrong. But the good news is, with a little preparation, they don't have to. Okay, so I want to start with what might be an unpopular opinion. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
I think phone calls are actually easier than face-to-face conversation.
Okay.
When you're on the phone, you don't have to worry about your face. You don't have to think about eye contact or how you're standing or what your hands are doing. You can have notes in front of you. You can have the entire script written out. You can be in your pajamas. You have so much freedom that you don't have in person.
Okay, those are fair points. But here's my counter, and I think this is the big one. When you're face to face with someone, you have so much extra information. You can see their expression. You can see if they're confused, if they're waiting for you, if they understood you. On the phone, you have none of that. It's just a voice. And voices can be fast and unclear and full of accents you've never heard before.
That's true. But you also have, on the phone, you can pause. You can say, "1 moment, please." In person, a long pause is very awkward. On the phone, silence sounds the same, whether you're thinking or writing something down.
Okay. Actually, that's a really good point. I've never thought about that.
Thank you.
But I think the real reason phone calls feel scary And this is especially true for language learners, is the speed. In person, someone can slow down more easily. They can repeat themselves by pointing, by showing you something, by using context clues. On the phone, the other person doesn't know your English level. They're talking at their normal speed, and you're expected to keep up.
That's really true. And there's also no preparation time. Like when you write an email or a text, you can think, you can look up a word, you can check your grammar. A phone call is live. It's happening right now, and you can't pause it.
Exactly. And I think there's also something about accountability. Like on a call, the other person is waiting for you. There's this pressure of real-time communication that text doesn't have. And that pressure makes a lot of people freeze.
Phone freeze. That's a thing.
It's absolutely a thing. I've experienced phone freeze even calling to order pizza, and I knew exactly what I wanted. But the moment someone answered, I just blanked.
Okay, so how do we fix the freeze? Because I think the answer, and this is where we agree, is preparation and phrases. You have a few good phrases, you know what to expect, and the freeze doesn't come anymore.
Yes, 100%. It's like having a map. Even if the journey is a little bumpy, at least you know where you're going.
Perfect. Let's look at the map.
Okay, situation number 1. And this is a classic. You want to make a reservation at a restaurant. This is usually a pretty short call, but it can feel very intimidating if you don't know what to expect.
Right. And the good news is, restaurant reservations are very predictable. They always ask you the same things: date, time, number of people, name, sometimes phone number. So you can actually prepare for this almost completely.
Exactly. So here's how it usually goes. Someone answers and says something like, "Thank you for calling restaurant name. How can I help you?" And you say,
Hi, I'd like to make a reservation, please. Simple, clear, polite. That's your opener.
then they'll ask, "Of course, for what date and time?" And you give that. "For this Saturday at 7:30, please." Then, "And how many in your party?" Party means how many people.
Party of 4. That means 4 people, not a celebration. Well, maybe a celebration, but not necessarily.
And then they'll ask for a name. What name should I put the reservation under? And here, Liam, here is where you famously went wrong.
Do not say 7 o'clock. Say your actual name.
Under the name Liam. That's it.
And they'll confirm, "Great, so I have you down for Saturday the 15th at 7:30, party of 4, under Liam." And you say, "That's perfect, thank you so much." And it's done. The whole thing is maybe 90 seconds.
The key thing is, you know what's coming. They're going to ask those same 4 questions every time: date, time, people, name. If you know that's coming, you're not caught off guard. Situation 2. This one is a bit more challenging. You need to call a company, maybe a bank, maybe a doctor's office, maybe a business, to ask for information. You don't always know who will answer or what they'll say.
Right. And this is where a lot of people get stuck because the opening isn't always predictable. Sometimes they answer with just hello. Sometimes it's a long, formal greeting. Sometimes it's an automated system.
Oh, the automated systems. Press 1 for English, press 2 for billing, press 3 for... And by the time you get to a real person, you've already pressed the wrong button twice.
Story of everyone's life. But okay, when a real person answers, here's a great opening. Hi, I was hoping you could help me. It's friendly, it's clear, and it invites them to help you, which is their job.
Then you explain why you're calling. I'm calling to ask about, or I have a question about my account, or I'm looking for some information about your opening hours. Whatever it is, be specific quickly.
And what if they transfer you to someone else, which happens all the time? The phrase to know is, could you transfer me to the right department, please? Or they might say, I'm going to put you through to someone who can help. That means they're transferring you.
And if you're on hold for a long time, totally normal, by the way, and someone finally picks up, you just reintroduce yourself. Hi, I was just speaking with someone about X, and I was transferred to you. That way they know the context.
These phrases sound so simple, but when you're on the phone and your heart is going, they can completely disappear from your brain. So writing them down before you call, even on a sticky note, is totally fine and actually really smart. Okay, situation 3. And this is the one that I think causes the most panic. You're on a phone call and the other person says something and you didn't understand it. What do you do?
This is the situation that makes people want to just hang up and pretend the call never happened.
Please don't do that. Please. Because the person on the other end is not going to be upset if you ask them to repeat. They do this all day. They talk to hundreds of people. They're used to it.
And there are so many polite ways to ask. My favorite is, I'm sorry, could you say that again? Super simple, super natural. Or, could you repeat that, please? Both work perfectly.
Or, if they're speaking very fast, could you speak a little more slowly, please? I want to make sure I get this right. And honestly, that last part, I want to make sure I get this right, makes you sound responsible and professional, not like you don't understand English.
That's such a good framing tip. You're reframing I don't understand as I care about accuracy. Big difference.
Exactly. And if you catch most of it but missed one specific word or number, especially important for things like addresses or prices, say, sorry, could you spell that for me? Or could you repeat the number? I just want to double check.
And one more for when you catch maybe 50% and you're just lost. I'm sorry, I think I may have missed part of that. Could you start from, and then name the last thing you did understand, so you're not starting over completely?
Oh, that's really clever. So you're anchoring to what you did catch.
Exactly. And remember, in a phone call, asking for clarification is normal. Native speakers do it all the time. Sorry, you broke up for a second. Sorry, it's a bit loud here. There are always reasons, and it's always acceptable. Situation 4. Leaving a voicemail. This one is actually really short, but people panic about it because you're suddenly talking to nothing. No response, no feedback, just you and the recording.
And then you forget what you were going to say, or you say it all wrong, and then you hang up and you can't take it back. And you think, did I sound weird? Was I too slow? Did I give the right number?
The good news about voicemails is they're very short. 30 seconds to a minute is ideal. And the structure is always the same. Who you are,
why you're calling, and how they can reach you.
So it sounds like, "Hi, this is Chloe calling for name. I'm calling about reason. Please call me back at phone number. I'm available times. Thank you." That's it. Done.
One tip. Say your phone number slowly. Really slowly. Because the person is going to write it down. And if you say it at normal speed, they have to replay it 3 times. Slow down, especially for numbers.
And say it twice. Seriously, my number is 555-4821. Again, that's 555-4821. Professional, helpful, and very appreciated.
Also, if you're nervous about voicemails, you can write out exactly what you want to say first. There is absolutely nothing wrong with reading from a note for a 30-second voicemail. Nobody knows, and nobody cares.
Permission granted. Read your notes. Do whatever it takes.
Okay, I want to pivot to something I think is really relevant here, especially for the world we're living in right now. The debate between calling and texting. Because honestly, phone calls are being replaced.
Are they, though? I would argue phone calls are coming back. There's been a resurgence.
A resurgence? Where are you seeing this resurgence?
Okay, among people over 30. But hear me out. After years of everyone just texting everything, there's this growing movement of people who are like, I'd rather just call you and sort it out in 2 minutes than text back and forth for 20 minutes.
Okay, I see that point. And I actually agree for some situations. Like, if something is complicated or emotional or time-sensitive, call. 100% call. But for quick things, are you coming tonight? Can you pick up milk? Why would you call for that?
No. For that, you text, obviously. I'm talking about the stuff that people text when they should call. Like breaking up with someone over text.
Oh, don't get me started. Or this happened to a friend of mine, getting fired over a text message.
That is a crime against humanity.
I know. Call. Some things require a voice.
But okay, phone anxiety is genuinely a thing. And it's not just English learners. Like I mentioned, even native speakers, especially younger people, have real anxiety about phone calls. There's actually a term, telephobia.
Telephobia. Yes, I read about this. It's a documented anxiety, and it's actually increasing, especially among Gen Z, because so much communication has moved to text and social media that actually speaking out loud to a stranger in real time feels very foreign and very scary.
Which is fascinating, because when I was growing up, and I know I'm aging myself here, we used to talk on the phone for hours. Like, I would call my friends after school, and we'd talk until our parents made us hang up.
Same. And now I'll avoid a phone call and spend 45 minutes composing the perfect text.
Right. And the thing is, the more you avoid phone calls, the scarier they become. It's like any fear. Avoidance makes it grow.
So the solution is exposure. Just do it. Call more often. Make a phone call when you could text. Order something over the phone when you could do it online. Each time it gets a tiny bit easier.
That's solid advice. And for English learners specifically, I'd say start with low-stakes calls. Call to check store hours. Call to ask a simple question. Build the muscle before you need to use it for something important.
Build the muscle. I love that. Phone call muscles.
It's real. Your brain gets better at processing spoken English in real time the more it practices. It's literally a skill you can train.
Can we quickly talk about cultural differences in phone etiquette? Because I find this really interesting.
Yes, because how you start and end a phone call is actually very different across cultures.
In the US, we tend to be pretty direct. Hi, this is Chloe. I'm calling about X. In some cultures, you start with much more small talk before getting to the point. In others, you get to the point even faster.
And ending the call, in the US, we say goodbye maybe 2 or 3 times. Okay, great. Thanks so much. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye. There's always this little goodbye loop.
The goodbye loop is so real. You've said everything, you've wrapped up, and then, okay, great, talk soon. Bye. Yep, bye. Okay, bye. It can take 30 seconds just to end.
In some cultures, that might feel weird. Like, why are we saying bye so many times? But in the US, it's just warmth. It's softening the ending.
So, if you're ever on a call with an American and they say, okay, great, bye, that doesn't mean hang up immediately. Wait for the full goodbye loop.
Wait for it to complete naturally. Don't just hang up in the middle of the loop. That's very alarming for the other person.
Okay, tip time. I'll go first. My number one tip for phone calls in English is prepare more than you think you need to. I know that sounds obvious, but I mean, before you dial, write down who you are calling, why you are calling, the key information they will ask for, and at least one phrase for when you don't understand. Have all of this in front of you before you even press call.
That's great, because it reduces the cognitive load. If you already have the information written down, your brain can focus on understanding and speaking instead of trying to remember facts at the same time.
Exactly. Tip 2, say your name clearly and slowly at the start of every call. This sounds simple, but so many people rush through it. Your name is the first thing the other person needs. If they miss it, they're already confused. Say it clearly. This is Chloe. Pause, then continue.
And if you have a name that's difficult to pronounce or spell, offer to spell it. My name is Chloe. Chloe. Takes 2 seconds and saves so much confusion.
Tip 3. End the call with a confirmation. Before you say goodbye, repeat back the key information. Great! So just to confirm, my appointment is Tuesday the 18th at 2 p.m. This shows you were listening, it clarifies everything, and it gives the other person a chance to correct any misunderstanding before you hang up.
Okay, my tips. Tip 1, and Chloe might push back on this. I think you should write out a full script for important calls. Not just notes, an actual word-for-word script.
Okay, see, I go back and forth on this because I think a script can help you feel prepared, but it can also make you sound robotic if you stick to it too rigidly.
That's fair. But here's the thing. You don't have to read it word for word. Having it there means you're not afraid of going blank. It's a safety net, not a cage.
Okay, I like that. A safety net, not a cage. That's actually really helpful framing.
Tip 2. After a difficult call, especially one where you felt confused or made mistakes, debrief yourself. What did you understand well? What was hard? What phrase could you use next time? You learn so much more from a challenging call than from an easy one.
That's such good advice. Like, treat it as a learning moment, not a failure.
Exactly. And tip 3, my favorite one, and this is practical. Call when it's quieter for you. Don't make an important phone call in a loud place, or when you're rushing, or when you're stressed about something else. Give yourself the best conditions to succeed.
That is so sensible. Find a quiet spot, take a breath, and then call. Set yourself up to win.
And one bonus tip from both of us: just do it. Pick up the phone. Make the call you've been avoiding. The anticipation is always worse than the reality.
Always. I promise you, every single time, after you make the scary call, you feel so much better. Even if it wasn't perfect, you did it, and that matters.
Okay, we are coming up on time, and honestly, I feel like we could talk about this for another hour. Phone calls. Who knew there was so much to say?
Right? Okay, let's do our big takeaways. Number 1, phone calls feel harder because you lose visual cues, but you gain the ability to use notes, slow down, and prepare more than you can in person.
Number 2, every common phone call has a predictable structure. Reservations, company calls, voicemails, they all follow a pattern. Learn the pattern and you're already 80% prepared.
Number 3, it is always okay to ask someone to repeat themselves. Could you say that again? And could you speak a little more slowly? Are phrases that native speakers use too. You are not being rude. You are being responsible.
Number 4, exposure is the cure for phone anxiety. Start small, call often, and each time it gets a little easier. You're building a muscle.
The phone call muscle. And number 5, prepare before you dial. Know who you're calling, why you're calling, and what information you might need. A sticky note next to your phone can change everything. Before we go, thank you so much for listening today. Whether you made it to the end or just caught part of it, we appreciate you. Genuinely.
And if this was helpful, the best thing you can do, seriously, is subscribe. It's free, it's one click, and it means you wake up tomorrow with a brand new episode of Daily Cup English already waiting for you.
And leave us a comment. Tell us your scariest phone call story. Or your best one. We read them all, and we love hearing from you.
Now, tomorrow, episode 4. And this one is one that I am personally very excited about because it's something that trips up even advanced English learners.
We are talking about small talk, but going deeper than episode 1 touched on. Specifically, how to move from surface small talk to real conversation. How do you go from nice weather today to actually connecting with someone?
It sounds simple. It's not simple, but we're going to make it simple. Tomorrow, episode 4.
We'll see you there. Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Bye, everyone. And hey, go make a phone call today. Just one. You've got this.
You've got this. Bye.